Welcome. You have arrived to the Hefty Girls podcast.
And we're back.
Guys, we'll never leave you like that again, I swear. It honestly wasn't even my fault. It was Emma's fault. Right?
Why was it my fault?
Because you're supposed to keep us on track and you were slacking.
It's my fault that I had to take a summer break.
Yes. If it was up to me, I would never have done that to you guys.
I had to unplug my mic last week and go touch some grass in Laguna Beach. And then I had to touch the ocean.
Yeah, if you're new here, we missed an episode next week, but not that anybody even noticed and or cared.
We missed an episode last week.
That's what I said.
You said this? You said
We missed last week's episode.
Yeah.
We skipped a week.
But guys,
We're back.
A lot of you guys haven't caught up on our old recent episodes. So like we gave you some time to go to YouTube,
do your homework,
type in Hefty Girls,
catch up.
and catch up on the hours of great content we provide for you guys.
Yes, of sisterly banter.
If you are new here, I'm Emma.
And I'm Gabi. Guess who's older? Go ahead. Put your guesses in now.
The one with the
And we'll reveal in
one with-
3. Wait, make your last guesses.
the wrinkly one.
Okay. Let's reveal in 3, 2, 1.
Gabi.
Is the younger sister and Emma's the older. Did you get it right? I hope you did.
I think today I look elderly. I have a blowout matching set.
Elderly.
It's giving. Everybody always comments, Emma's so millennial. Ugh.
You just need a good curl your lashes in and you'd be back.
Can
at
we
'em.
start this new saying, ugh, vomit.
Ugh, vomit.
Ugh, vomit. When somebody says, I'm a millennial, ugh,
Ugh, vomit.
I like that one.
Not really, but
Let's see if it sticks.
okay. we'll be testing it out. We'll test it out this next week and see.
We'll come back to you guys.
See.
Since you guys last saw me, I don't know if I look different. I did have a viral video on TikTok.
What was it?
And everybody kept saying, her pants are see-through. We can see your thong. But guys, my pants weren't see-through. It was the seam.
Emma.
It was the seam on the pants. Now, if I had been over, those pants are see-through. But like the way that I was standing, they weren't actually see-through. And the comment, your pants are see-through, has 12,000 likes on that comment.
Well, were they see-through or were they not?
They weren't in
And
the
let's
video.
be honest.
They weren't.
Let's be honest with ourselves and with also with the class.
People just don't understand that you can have seams on your butt.
And it's not your butt crack.
It's like they thought it was my thong.
They thought
Or
it was
like-
your butt crack.
No, my butt crack would never look
Okay,
like that.
but no one's thong lays on the outside of their butt crack like that. Like, what are we talking about?
Wait, I never thought about that.
Like, how would that? They don't think that that's your thong.
So
they
they
thought
think-
that was your butt crack.
Oh, that's so embarrassing.
What's that? Even what's that?
They were like, guys, she knows it. She obviously
on purpose.
watched the video and posted it.
Yeah.
Maybe she likes it. And like, and if she was skinny, you wouldn't be saying this. I'm like,
They said that?
yeah. And you know what? For the first time, I took a page from my sister's book. I didn't turn the comments off.
And guess what? It went even more mega viral.
Well, I did have to delete a comment that said, I don't see the ocean. They were calling me a whale. I did block that lady. That was rude. That was worth blocking.
I wish we had a soundboard for that moment to be like, boom, after you say, where's the whale?
when
where's the
I
ocean?
read, where's the ocean? Ew, vomit.
Ew, totally vomit.
Totally vomit. Would you have blocked her?
Totally
Would you have
vomited in my mouth.
swallowed it back down?
Wait, I did kind of get on a little, kind of a little blocking spree in the past couple weeks.
Wait,
I was taking a page from your book.
Hey. Oh,
Well,
how
actually,
the tables have
turned.
turned.
You know who actually told me, and I listened to them, Michaela, my friend from home. She was like, Gabi, just block them. I was like, you know what? You're so right. And I did.
We were this week at Rayanne and Christina's pool party, the Confident Collective. It is it used to be a podcast, and now it's like a community event.
That they put on in LA.
Yeah, they put it on in LA. And it's a bunch of curvy girls, but we were all talking in a circle, a bunch of like influencers about the hate comments that we get. And I was telling everybody that how
This is
I
your favorite
survive.
topic to talk about.
Yeah, but this is
You're like-
important.
Yes, a lot of people care about me and they like comment on my stuff, and like I have bullies on the internet.
No, I
Feel
have a
bad
lot of
for me.
haters. I have so many.
I think that is that kind of like a
Wait, wait,
form?
wait,
Well,
let-
no, hold on. Is that a form of fishing for compliment?
by saying I have so many. Wait, I don't want to say haters because then I sound millennial. So many ops. Haters is millennial.
Wait,
Haters
just unlocked
equals
something.
millennial. Ops equals Gen Z.
Yes.
And then what's the next generation down? We don't know. We're too old.
No, that's Gen Alpha.
Okay.
Ops is
But
Gen Alpha.
my ops, they comment on my stuff. I don't see the ocean. You're so big. Your pants are see-through. And this is what I do. I read the comment. I block them.
just drinking orange.
Okay.
There was lip gloss on it. I should have known.
Gabi, just drink out of my water. Who cares?
Okay, go.
We share the same DNA.
Please tell the story.
And I was telling them that the only way that I can live my life is right after I block the comment, I factory reset like this. My eyes roll back in my head. And then,
Act like I never saw it.
and then it's like it never ever happened.
Delete, block, and we're
And
back.
We're all back. So yeah. So if I look different, it's because I am viral for my see-through pants.
Oh my god.
Something I never thought I'd be famous for.
And you got yellow nails and yellow toes.
I do have yellow nails, butter yellow.
Yellow toes kind of are giving maybe like fungal infection. So maybe
I look like my feet have no blood in them.
yeah. I don't think you have very good circulation over there, sister.
Oopsies.
Yeah, maybe next time go for like fungal green instead of a
Selson
fungal
was
yellow.
the one who really encouraged the yellow.
I like the brown and yellow combo,
Thank you.
like with your hair and like.
And you're
this.
wearing yellow too.
I am too. This is a very us outfit, Missouri, big girl sweatpants. Guys, we actually these past 2 weeks I ran into like a couple hefties out in the real world
We have.
that are like, I listen to your podcast. I'm like, stop fucking with me. Be serious. I'm like, no.
We actually met our number one fan at the Confident Collective pool party.
I was like, Emma, you got to meet this girl. She listens to our podcast. She's our number one fan. And then when I said that, the girl was like,
She was like, wait, so
I like listened to like 2 episodes. I was like, that's fine. Send right here. You're our number one fan. You
she
have
was like,
now.
she was like, how did I earn that title? We're
I
like,
go, it's very
don't worry
easy.
about it. Don't worry.
Yeah, don't worry about it, sweetheart. Sign right here. Like, it's really not hard. We're like the criteria. What was there? Was there any criteria? Have listened to one episode.
She knew that it was called Hefty Gals and not Hefty Girls.
Yes.
Okay.
She also uses Pick Misha in her everyday lingo.
Yes. Thank you.
I'm like, yes, then you're our number one fan. What do you mean?
Exactly.
You're in. You're in, and you have been hired, and you have been. And we also met a girl at the Dodgers game who listened to our podcast too.
Yeah.
Did you meet her?
Yeah.
I was sitting next to her. I
and
was like, no way.
she was telling us, she was like, I better hear about this Dodgers game on the podcast.
Hey,
This is for
here
you.
go.
This is for you.
Here you go, right here, right now.
Did go to the Dodgers game with Torrid. So it was a whole full suite at the Dodgers game
Full of hefty gals.
hefty
It was awesome.
gals. Y'all, speaking of LA, we didn't start the episode off on a low note, but of course we do need to address like what's been happening in this country, in our city. And I talked about this on my Instagram story this morning. I feel like when stuff in the world happens, people immediately kind of go into people's who are influencers DMs and are like, speak on this. Why haven't you spoken on this? And I feel like, okay, use your platform. And like, of course I hear people, I think that's like, it can be helpful. And truthfully, I like needed a second to educate myself, like being white and being born in the US. Like I never knew immigration laws and like the nitty gritty of it. Obviously I knew from watching videos of ICE deporting people that it was like horrible the way they were treating these humans, but I didn't understand the legality of it and like what was right for like what can they actually do, you know? And I feel like I've learned so much in this last week on immigration law and how messed up what's happening is.
And Obama just came out with a statement and he's like, there's a way to like protect our like or to better our immigration laws without like doing what we're doing right now. Like there's a way to go about it, and what's happening right now is obviously not the right way, and it's fucked up.
Yeah. So it's been heavy here and
in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Especially.
And I think everybody's is on like the news coverage has been insane.
Yeah.
So everybody is like checking in and making sure we're fine. And I'm like, y'all, we're not the ones that you all need to be worrying about. But yeah, so we'll put some resources in our
Description.
if you guys want to give. There's a couple of places I saw that are giving like protective like eye goggles and masks for protesters because a lot of like tear gas and stuff has been out, and then also for families who need support during this time. So sad note, but it's definitely
just crazy. I'm like, what the hell? What is even going on?
I do feel like being in a big city though, we have been more in touch with what's actually going on in the world and like the realistic part of it than we ever were living in
LA
Missouri.
has just had quite the fucking year. We started out with the fires.
Yeah.
Now this. I'm like, wait, what's?
Yeah, we're like living.
Give
in
LA
it.
a break. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we know what can make this stop. Wait, did you know that they came out and they arrested somebody for starting the fires?
No.
Yes, somebody's in jail because they started the fires. The one
I
that
didn't
was
see that.
the biggest fire. Yeah. Okay. That's all messed up stuff. And as much as I think it is important to talk about those things, I also think it's important to give yourself a second, give yourself a break and giggle, you know?
Yeah.
I always think, remember, did you learn in history class, like during the Great Depression and like the 1920s and stuff, that's like when theater and all that stuff it became like an escape?
Well, yeah, when there's like a recession and when the world is in turmoil, that's when like the greatest art happens. That's like, it's like an
escape
phenomenon.
from the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like when me and Selton are arguing at night. I just say, I need to escape to a different reality. And that's when I doom scroll.
So they say, out of the greatest pain comes the greatest art.
Oh, I have never heard that.
Somebody said that, I think.
Who?
I think somebody said that
Who said it? Come out. Come forward.
I think I read that once on Pinterest
I like that
or
quote.
something.
I love that quote. But this last week, me and Selton had planned for a while his little birthday trip to Laguna Beach. And I was like so excited, like, oh, we're doing like a little vacation, like whatever. Come to find out, we were just in Orange County.
Yeah, no one gives a fuck about Laguna Beach. I'm like, oh, okay.
I thought Laguna Beach was just like
Oasis,
like away from LA, like so far, like so
you should have done
niche.
Catalina Island.
And
I heard that's Europa vibes.
Yeah. Well, and I did run into a follower in Laguna Beach, and she was nannying. I said, oh, Gabi's a nanny. And it was really sweet. She was telling us like some recommendations and stuff. But I just felt like, I thought this was like such a fun vacation, but we literally could do a day trip there. It ended up being really fun. But in my head, I just thought we were going to be so much farther. But this is the thing, you guys, about Laguna Beach. It literally feels like everybody there is playing pretend. Like when you go to the restaurant, it look like they literally have like the red and white checkered like tablecloths, like the chairs are like white folding chairs, and the server's like, okay, what would you like to eat? And then they come out and the food is like, they literally, like we went to a breakfast place and the pancakes and the eggs, like it was like, it tasted like they Googled like how to make pancakes. Like the most generic things was, the whole city was like that. And I'm like, are you guys all playing pretend? And then you go to the beach and it's like,
I think
perfect
that's
families. Like,
I think that's it's because it's a very touristy place. Maybe I think that happens to very touristy places.
No, but we went during the week, so like it was like a lot of locals were like out on the beach. And like
now I want to go and inspect to see for myself because I've never been to a place like that.
Yeah,
that I could describe
we
it
can
that way.
we
can literally drive down there.
Drive down there. It's only an hour and a half away. But the place that we stayed was really cute, and I feel like for the first time in a long time, I read a book. I put my phone down, touch
some grass,
and now we're back better than ever.
Screen time was down by 75%. I doubt that though. I'm like, I have to see it to believe it because when you say that you're off your phone, it's like it's not for real off your phone.
Selton, what do you think? Was that hashtag unplugged this week?
Like in Laguna Beach?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like we weren't really on our phones really that much because like we didn't post like stories or even regular posts when we were there. We're just kind of just enjoying each other's company, watching a little Downton Abbey, like by the pool, like in the bed and stuff.
There's also another young couple there at the hotel, and I'm like, what are you guys doing here in the middle of the week? And they were so cool. And
you asked them?
No, there was one night that they were out by the pool, and I got too nervous. I wanted to go sit by the pool so bad, but I didn't go because they were out there.
Why?
So like then you got to make conversation.
No, you don't.
Yeah,
oh my
I should have went.
God.
But I was gonna say something. I just forgot it.
About being off your phone.
Oh, I read a book while I was there.
A whole one?
Called Everyone is Lying. Yeah, I read the whole book. And can I tell you what it's about?
No, because I want to read it next.
Yeah, but it is about
Emma, I just
No,
said.
it's about this girl that goes missing, this child.
Okay,
and
don't
they're
tell
trying to figure
me.
out what happened.
Okay, enough. That's enough.
And
A murder mystery.
I cannot read scary books. It's just too much. Like then, literally, the night that I finished the book, we came back home. I was in the house like, there's somebody in here.
Oh my God. You're always like that, so I don't even blame the book for that.
I gotta just like go back to watching Ugly Betty, and
I was reading a book and I was like halfway through, left it on the plane on the way back from New York. I'm like, kidding me? I try to do a good deed and read a book and expand my mind and my vocabulary, and guess where it gets me? The universe has not rewarded me for getting my screen time down and picking up a
intellect.
But I did reorder it and now I have it again. But still,
did you
for
finish
the book
it?
Twice. No, still haven't finished it. But whatever.
How was New York? And why were you there?
New York was awesome. I went on a brand trip with Beatbox beverages. They were like wine coolers.
Boots and cats.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Beatbox. And one of my friend Fee works on the team there, so shout out Fee. And this trip really was like, it was a completely different group of people than I feel like the brand trips that we go on, it's usually like, it's rare to go on one and not know one person. It's usually like kind of the same girls recycled, and it's like usually all girls. And this was just like a completely different vibe. But I think it's because it was like an alcohol brand. It wasn't like a women's clothing brand.
Yeah.
So it was just a completely different group of people, different vibe. I met so many new cool friends. I'm like, guys, I love New York. Literally, I heart New York. I'm like, maybe moving there.
You're not moving to New York.
That was rage baiting for you. I was rage baiting you.
Gabi's been rage baiting me all week, and me and Gabi had a real fight this week.
Yeah, I was rage baiting her, and guess what? She takes it every time. I was like, Emma, I was literally bluffing. She's like, do me to rehash the story real quick for them. So
hold up.
What?
Let me.
No. Let me. You have been talking the whole time. Let me rehash it, okay?
But if you get it wrong, I'm jumping in.
I'm not getting it wrong, okay? And this is like the little sister rage baiting that like it's just like it wasn't even serious, and she just is like takes everything so literal. I'm like, are you okay? Whatever. Anyway, so we're having the first cookout of the summer on Emma's roof. It originally was supposed to be like a brunch because our friend Lauren is in town and it's her birthday. So we're like, let's do our first brunch or like dinner, whatever, of the summer up on the roof. The OG plan is to do a brunch. And then Emma texts in the group chat, okay, we're pushing it to 6 p.m. So we're just going to do 6 p.m. And then she calls me and she's like, yeah, we're going to do breakfast for dinner. I'm so excited. It's going to be so good. And I was like, breakfast for dinner? Ew. What?
Pause.
Literally, I was like, ew. Immediately.
Pause for a Twix.
Ew.
It's my turn.
Okay.
Guys, I didn't call her and say breakfast for dinner. I had the group chat where we had throughout the week been talking about the dinner. I said, let's just still do breakfast for dinner. Whatever.
But push it to 6 p.m.
That's like 2 or 3 days before this.
I didn't see that. The first I was hearing of it was on the phone with you.
But you're in the group
morning
text.
of.
You're literally in the group text.
I didn't see it.
Everybody has said what they're going to bring for the breakfast for dinner. Then fast forward, it's noon, the day of the said rooftop dinner, okay? Which...
Get to the point.
And I call Gabi to tell her about, I don't know, something exciting. And then she's like, are we doing breakfast? I said something about, oh, what are you bringing tonight? We're doing the breakfast for dinner thing. She goes, what? I don't want that.
I'm like, ew. It literally made me like nauseous at the
vomit.
Yeah, I said, ew, vomit in my mouth. And I was just like, literally the second you said it, it literally was making me nauseous. I was like, ew, God, no. I'm like, let's just do it's at 6 p.m. Let's do a normal like cookout. Look at movies on Lauren.
Guys, our friend Lauren is here from Canada and she's gonna come in a little bit to finish this episode off. But Wolfie, Gabi's cat, is like all over her.
Wolfie, get down. It's all Wolfie, get your butt down.
He's literally riding on her shoulder.
Wolfie, leave her alone.
No, so Gabby says, I don't want that.
Here.
I don't want that. And I'm like,
and then she's
I
like,
said, are you serious?
I was like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, well, if that's the dinner or if that's what we're having, I'm not coming. Like, obviously I'm going to come. It's all of our friends are coming over there. She's my next door neighbor. Obviously I'm going to come over there. But
you weren't.
I was just being, I was like, well, I'm not coming if that's what we're eating. And she was like, like, you literally were like, oh my God, you're such a bitch.
No, I was like, well, then what do you want, Gabby? What would you like to eat? And
I was like,
well,
normal cookout
I just
food.
want a normal cookout. And I'm like, okay, well then, okay. And then
You coordinate it. And guess what?
Then I hung up.
I did coordinate it.
Then I hung up.
And guess what we had for dinner? Normal cookout food. Yeah.
No, I hung up. And then I said her, if you want that, coordinate it yourself.
And I did. And then
she texted in the group chat. She coordinated it. And then Selton.
So what are you mad about?
And then Selton goes, yeah, well, I don't want to grill out tonight. I wanted to take my
I would
head.
grill out.
I wanted to take my head and bang it through my car window. Because guess what happened before this? Before all this happened, we had all the merch boxes, okay? Boxes and boxes, heavy boxes that have been in my living room that me and Selton and Lauren packed into the van, took from the van to the storage unit, unpacked them, and then put them in the storage unit. I was so tired. And then I knew I had to come home and prep for guests. And then Gabby's like, yeah, I don't really want that. I don't want that. I'm like, okay.
I didn't want that.
This is what I should have said. And something was right. I should have just said, then don't come.
Yeah, you should have said that, and then I would have came anyway. That's what I thought you were gonna say. That's what I'm saying.
I didn't think you would have came.
It was rage bait, Emma.
No, because you would have been like, yeah, I'm just gonna stay home. I'm tired. I already ate. That's some issue would do. We were literally, me and Avery today were talking about spoiled little sisters and how they've never had to work for anything in their life.
Oh my God. My God.
Yeah.
As I work a freaky 9 to 5, Emma.
You literally
What do
are a
you do?
nanny and an influencer. I would not call that a 9 to 5.
Don't discount childcare. Number 1, bitch. Number 2, Wolfie, tell her.
Listen, what'd you say, Zelda? If you guys are nannies or childcare out there, I respect you, but not my sister.
She's such a bitch. Like,
it's more of a Gabby thing than them thing.
Yeah, I'm not being your nanny anymore for when you have kids. How about that?
Guys, this
and I was
morning,
gonna do it for free.
You were not gonna do it for free.
I was.
Gabby, please.
Not anymore.
Nothing in this life is free. No, but this morning, me and Selton and Lauren and Avery went and toured me and Selton's, all of us really's dream home.
Lay down.
2.5 million.
Ugh.
No, 2.4 million here in LA.
It's a damn shame, really. It really is a damn shame that I'm not a millionaire.
It has a house behind the house that Gabby could live in, like a little mother-in-law suite. It has a rooftop where I could put my sauna and my cold plunge. But
if only.
I don't think the bank is gonna loan me that money.
I did promise the Hefties that I would tell the Peru story to make up for lost time for our missed episode last week.
Okay.
Should I tell it now or save it for the end? Because it's kind of morbid and it's really going to bring the vibes down in here. So I just want to preface that.
Let's save it to the end.
Okay. Save it to the end. But also trigger warning. And if you're not in the mood to hear anything triggering or upsetting, go ahead and skip the last section.
We'll tell you before it starts.
Warning now.
Okay, I have a question for you, Gabby.
Yeah.
So I kept seeing this on multiple comment sections on TikTok this week, and I need you to translate for me.
Okay. I'll try my best.
It says, "Will schools be closed?"
I don't know that one. I don't know that one. I've seen it before.
Let me Google it.
Do the next one.
That's the only one I have.
Oh, okay.
What does that mean?
I need context.
Will schools be closed? Let me Google it, but can you tell them what your guess is?
Mine is it's some sort of reference to some video of maybe you're being over dramatic of oh, tomorrow I'm going to get my toes done, and someone's like, well, will schools be closed? What's chat say?
The AI says schools closed means that school is temporarily or permanently halting its regular operations.
Someone in the comments needs to decode the TikTok comment.
I think it means like if someone says that, it means like, oh, like I'm gonna lay in bed today, and someone responds saying, "Will school be closed?" Meaning like, will the normal operation that you would usually be doing like not happen today? That's what I'm thinking.
That's a good guess. Emma, do you have a guess?
My guess is like what you were saying, like
overreaction,
like the importance of it. But will schools be closed?
Yeah.
But I'm also like, schools closing is that kind of serious? Like, not really.
I don't know.
You know what? I'm gonna call Dom live on the podcast and see if she answers, because I feel like she'll know the answer to it. Because I want to get to the bottom of this, and I already know that some of the hefties are commenting right now, telling us what it means, and we thank them.
Dombolina. Don't tell her we're recording.
Well, I have the mic in my hand.
Okay, yeah, you're right. She's not gonna answer. It's okay. We may never know.
Who?
Oh, Arletta.
Think she would know.
Also, when I was flying to New York, I realized, well, this is really gonna play into the spoiled little sister-ness of it all.
Go ahead.
When I was flying to New York, I was realizing, I'm like, I've flew first class so many times and I've never had to pay for it. And the one time that I did splurge, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to pay myself first class. I'm going to do it. I'm going to pay for it. I told you, and then you were like, Gabi, you can't afford that. And you literally made me go and like get a refund for it and switch it back to economy. I was like, you know what? I'm going to splurge and I deserve this. And I told you, and you're like, Gabi, what's wrong with you? You don't do that.
Well, because you told me that it was like the last of your money. You're like, yeah, it was $400 to upgrade, and I had like 402 in my account, but like, it's fine because I'll have 2 weeks when I get back. And I'm like, yeah, but what about the 2 weeks? Like, how are you gonna get food? And you're like, you know what? You're right.
And I went back and I changed it to basic economy. Oh my God. Okay, can you log back in and stop texting on that damn iPhone of yours? Also, my backyard, I have a fence between me and the neighbors, and like in LA, houses are pretty much like on top of each other. Like nobody really has like a yard or space to themselves, especially in the city. Like houses are like right up close to each other. And so the neighbor's avocado tree is like, the branches are over like half in my yard, and it's growing all these little baby avocados. And this is my question. Can I keep them once they carry to full term? Or do I have to pick them and give them over to the neighbor? But this is the thing. This is the first year I've seen them start getting this big. Usually all the squirrels eat them all up. I'm like, get off your Instagram story. Are you serious? My God. Or like, what do you guys think? If it's growing half in your yard, can you keep half of the fruit? None of my labor, though.
If the fruit drops into your yard,
I can't pull it off the tree.
it's on your property.
But I can't.
But you
pull it off
can't
the tree?
pull it off the tree.
Seriously,
Yeah,
seriously.
that's my rule. But
Some ultra
But
vegans,
if you
that's the way they eat fruit. Is they
wait for it to drop.
they don't pull.
Yeah, they don't want to
Disrupts
interfere
nature.
with.
I'm gonna go talk to the avocados outside. It's okay. You can drop. It's okay. It's okay. I'm gonna talk them off the ledge.
There was a video that this lady was like talking to a tree, and it was kind of sitting above her shoulder, and she starts to say, "It's okay, tree. You can touch
okay,
my
Wolfie.
shoulder.
Okay.
Go ahead." Oh, wait, Dom just called me back. You can touch my shoulder, and
It did.
it did. The tree did. So we should try that with your tree in the back.
I'm gonna try it with my plant.
Let's go
need to
live
talk
on
to her
Hefty
more.
Gals and try it.
Okay.
Hey,
Hi,
Dom.
Domboli.
You're live on the pod.
We just have a quick TikTok question for you that you might be able to decode that I didn't know.
I
Like a
texted it to her.
reference that I don't
texted it to
know.
her.
When people in the comments say, "Will schools be closed?" What does that mean?
I don't know. I only know open the schools.
That's
What's
what
that?
Urban Dictionary was saying, but that was like because of COVID, right? Or no, open the schools means like you need to become educated.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said
Oh,
that
like
at
you
the
said
pool
something
party.
stupid?
Yeah, it's like
Someone said
people are so dumb, and it's like open the schools. Like I don't know,
Yeah.
I don't know how to
Did
describe
someone
it.
comment that?
No, I just kept seeing it in people's comments saying, "Will schools be closed?" Or like, "But will schools be closed?"
Oh, maybe it's like, should we invite Bella Hadid? Like, it's not that deep. Like, have you seen that?
No.
it's like a skinny talk thing where like if a girl's like, all I've had is a cigarette and iced coffee, someone's like, should we call Bella Hadid? Like, bitch, like you think like you're the skinniest like hoe.
Like,
and maybe it's like the
and
same
like
thing,
you're being like over dramatic. Like,
yeah, like
but
will they
schools-
close the schools?
Yeah. Okay, that's what our guess was.
Right, Bella Hadid.
Yeah. You know what? I hope somebody comments on that on me.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, me too.
I hope somebody comments that to me. What are you doing, Dom?
I'm literally doing all my laundry that I've ever like all my clothes because I'm donating. I'm getting rid of so much. So if y'all want to come look, ski.
No, I don't need any more clothes in my closet.
Nelson, there's this cool Supreme jacket you might like.
Selin just said he just said he wants to come
Well,
look.
let me see it first.
Jen is coming over tomorrow.
Okay, amazing.
I'm gonna be Malibu Barbie tomorrow.
Barbie?
Malibu Barbie. Yes.
Lurve it. Okay, we'll call you later.
Okay, that's all.
All right.
Thank you for your services.
Thinking of y'all.
You are
Bye-bye.
dismissed. Love you. Bye.
Okay, I love this.
So we're all on the same page. I'm like,
But
it
will
makes me
schools be
feel better that
closed?
she doesn't know it either.
I love that they said. So should we call Bella Hadid?
Mom, this is mom's one all the time. So should we call the news? She's like, Mom, I stubbed my toe at school today. She's like, oh, should we call the news? That's a good one. Actually, we should bring that back. In her, another one of her awesome iconic lines is if we said something like that was a lie, she would go, "You lie like a rock." Macy heard her say that. She's like, that's
I think that's like a normal.
you lie like a rock. No, people haven't heard it. That's a Jenna saying. Seriously. It is.
I don't think our mom thought of that.
I'm saying it's not known worldwide.
One thing about Jenna Menard that I definitely have inherited, when she wants to get something done, she is determined to get it done. Today we went to see that house showing and we realized I don't think I could afford it. Like I don't think the bank would loan me $2.5
million.
I don't know why they wouldn't loan me that money, but like
I'm like, I'm a woman of my word. Like I'll pay you back. I will.
when I go to the office and they're like, yeah, sorry, we can't loan you that money. But will
Why?
schools be closed?
But will schools be closed?
That's the real question. But like really, like come on,
I
it's
swear
just
I'm gonna pay you back.
we're all in a simulation. Please give me $2.5 million.
It's just numbers on a screen, really. At the end of
Like
the day,
it's not that serious. I have this feeling that I'm gonna like meet somebody who's like so rich one time, just from being like nice, and then I'm gonna ask them like, "Can you give me money?" Like I really think
Can you buy this house
No,
for
I'm
me?
serious, Gabi. I'm not joking. I think this is gonna happen to me. I have this thing that like everybody I meet, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be somebody someday who's so rich, and then I'm gonna be like, okay, but can you just give me like $1 million? And they're gonna do it. Because this is like, for instance, like me, when you said you wanted $10,000, I almost gave it to you.
Yeah, keyword almost. Like,
Remember that?
I think that's honestly how some girls live their life. Is they're like young and hot, and they're like, "Oh, I'll just meet like some man with like who's a billionaire, and I'll be fine."
Yeah, but like in my delusion, I don't have to do anything for the money.
You're just kindness. It's just from the kindness of your heart.
Yeah, it's just like
That they'll feel your aura,
no,
and they'll
that
be
they
like,
they
"You
they see potential in me, and they're
you
like,
deserve my $1
Yes.
million."
yes.
If I had millions of dollars, I would buy you that house.
I just was like, I
But
just
I
feel like our
don't.
parents didn't work hard enough, you know. Like, why didn't they work harder? So
Why was I not born into generational wealth? Like, fuck. You guys are so selfish.
That's so funny because I saw like a little real meme saying like when a baby, this guy's acting like he's a baby, like first being born, and he opens his eyes and hears that, then closes his eyes and just smirks like he was born in like a rich family.
Oh, the rich laugh. Yeah. Well, we still had a pretty good upbringing.
Yeah.
Some might say.
Some would say. Some would describe it as that. I don't know if I would describe it as that, but some would say that. I'm just kidding. We had a great upbringing, but I'm like, come on, you guys couldn't.
But not good enough to give me my house.
A little bit more of financial literacy and like how to become a #millionaire at the age of #26.
Yeah, honestly, I was a little bit embarrassing. I was telling Sultan this. So after we toured the house, the lady who is like the real estate, like she built the house, whatever.
She was the owner?
She didn't build it, but like
she was the owner.
I don't know. Okay, she seemed like
in charge.
She was the queen.
Okay.
And she starts talking to us. She was like, so like, how long have you guys been looking for a home? I'm like, oh, this is our first home we've ever toured. She goes, oh, okay. It's like, what do you do for work? I'm like, oh, I'm an influencer. She's like, oh, cool. And she's like, have you guys like gotten pre-approved for a loan? I'm like, no. She's like, oh, well, who do you bank with? I'm like, lots of people.
Lots of the banks, and all my money's all around the places.
Yeah. And I was just like, I got kind of flustered. I'm like, yeah, just kind of like, I don't know. She's like, oh, okay. I'm like, oh, she's not taking me serious anymore.
Yeah, she's like, oh, they're just looking at this shit for fun.
Yeah. And then I was like, I don't know. But then I left and I told Sultan that I was like, I need to work on in instances where I can feel that I'm the person with lesser knowledge, that instead of like trying to compensate for that, to just open up and be like vulnerable to it. Yeah, I don't know. Like, we're really new to this. And she actually ended up messaging me and was like, hey, I have some recommendations for a lender. Because I told her, like, she was saying to me.
You're like, are you going to be the woman who's going to give me $1 million?
No, No, I do think that she can mentor me and Sultan in real estate to maybe we can make $1 million. But
I love that every interaction you have, you're looking at it from a business stance. You're like,
MR-led LLC.
Yes. I think they don't call her that for nothing.
But she was saying, she's like, yeah, so you call the lender and they tell you how much they can lend you. And we left it. And I'm like, I wish I would have asked her, who was the lender? Like,
who is this lender?
Do I call?
Who is this lender you keep fucking talking about? What's his name?
I'm like, please. So then she literally, after this whole conversation in the car, Sultan, she DMs me, let me send you some lenders. I would love to help you. And then I said, and here's my bank account information for the $2.5 million so I can buy the house.
Ask and you shall receive.
But
like, come on.
Every person that I've talked to lately who like has a good amount of money and real estate.
Yeah, but they also say that landlords are evil. And do you want to be an evil landlord?
I don't have to be the landlord.
That's what it is.
I'm making you the landlord.
I don't think I could be a landlord.
Gabi.
Honestly, any job I have ever heard of, I'm like, no, I don't think I could do that. And I'm like, no, I wouldn't be very good at that. And every job Emma ever hears, oh, I think I could be so good at that. I think I should have done that in another lifetime. And I think I would have been the boss and the CEO of that.
No, it's all about your mindset. I told Sultan, so Gabi, my mom, toured that house last week. And then they called me and they're like, Emma, like, be realistic. You're planning this big wedding. Like, you can't buy this house.
I didn't say that. I didn't say none of that. That was mom.
And then the rest of the day in Laguna Beach, I was like, Sultan, I'm so sad. And he's like, why are you sad? Like, it's okay. I'm like, you don't understand. I always get what I want. And he was like, okay. And I'm like, no, I'm being serious.
No, you don't understand.
I'm like, you don't get it. I always get, if I want something, I will make it happen. So when I pop up in that new house next week, guys, just know I met somebody. They gave me the money.
God did. Who did? God did. Well, anything is possible. You know what? I'm not even going to put it past you because anything is really possible. And maybe you'll get $1 million deal tomorrow.
Maybe I could do this. I could run a fundraiser with my followers. Everybody donate $1.
Here's my question
and then you guys can visit me at any time. Like, I'll give you the code to my house.
Here's my question for you.
What?
And this is really ethics. It's an ethical question.
Okay.
If I'm trying to think of like the worst brand deal that you could ever do. If Donald Trump's party, the Republican Party, came to you and said, one video endorsing the Republican Party will give you $5 million, would you do it? $5 million for one Instagram reel. Would you do it?
I would do it, and I would do it, and I would do this.
Oh my God.
The whole time I would be doing Morse code with my eyes saying, I'm getting paid $5 million. Please don't hate me. And then hopefully I would hope that somebody that follows me knows Morse code and would translate
so
it.
she can be bought, guys. That's what I heard just now. She can be
Would
bought.
you do it, Gabby?
See, I'm not asking the question. I'm
Yeah.
asking you the question.
But no, I need to know your answer now. Honestly, after taxes,
$5 million.
$5 million is not that much.
Well,
Is it
little
tax
poor
free?
little
Is it
lad.
tax free?
Tax free. Tax free?
Would you do it?
See, I'm not answering that.
I would
I
shame
plead the
nobody in this world.
I plead the fifth. I wouldn't shame anybody for doing that either.
Yeah, please.
But I plead the fifth.
No, guys, I'm joking about the whole money thing. We're okay financially.
She's like, no, I wouldn't.
and you know what? We actually give to charity. We actually give to charity.
Yes, you give to multiple charities, and my cup overfloweth. And the IRS is not after me. These are our daily reminders.
And
the
I have no
IRS is
student
not
loans.
after me, and I'm debt free. What is that called? Daily affirmations.
The IRS. I owe the IRS nothing. The IRS owes me nothing. No, how about the IRS owes me money?
And I will get that house in Frogtown.
Okay, guys, let's introduce our special guest for today, Miss Lauren.
Sorry, she had to be. You had to be our live studio audience for that whole time, and I apologize.
No,
because
I
that
lived
can't
for
be,
it.
That
It
can't
was
be your fun
everything.
job, really.
So happy to be here.
Wait, I have a question.
Is this your
Was that
phone or
boring? Was that a boring intro?
No, not at all. I was locked in every second.
She's Should I do a little introduction for you?
Yes.
Yes, please.
This is our friend
Gabby, you're
Lauren.
sitting on that cord.
No, I'm not.
This one is you're about to pull it out. Look
It's
behind
not
you.
plugged into anything, Emma.
This.
I know, but it's not plugged into anything over there.
Look
It
over
doesn't
here.
matter.
You're like sitting. You're like pulling it.
Oh my god.
Okay, I got it.
This is our friend Lauren Wombolt.
You got it right.
I said Wombat.
A lot of people say
Wombat.
That or Wambolt.
Wombolt. And woo! Can we get some applause?
Yes.
Selton?
Clap in the chat.
I actually really like that shirt that Selton has on. And she's from Canada. And
Canada.
Is she visiting Canada?
I love it.
My
Let's-
favorite
let's fight-
people on the planet are Canadians. I've never met a
as
never
they
met a
should be.
bad
We're all nice
Canadian.
there.
They're all
Wait,
nice there.
let's do a challenge. Let's try to sing as many words as we can of the Canadian song, and she has to sing as many of the American song.
Oh dear.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay,
dear.
ready?
I don't
Oh, Canada.
the home of the free.
No. Wait. Oh, Canada.
Guys.
The place I call my home.
No.
Wait, give us a little bit of help. Oh, Canada.
Oh, Canada. We stand on guard for thee.
Shit.
Okay, we're it. Okay, so we only got Oh, Canada.
Oh, Canada.
It's okay.
That's
It's
only
the
two
most,
words.
It's the most important part.
Okay, what are the words to ours?
Wait, is
See,
it
I
Star
don't-
Spangled Banner?
My country.
No.
I don't even, I literally have no idea.
Wait,
how it
we'll start
starts.
you out. We'll start
Wait.
you out.
Okay.
I pledge allegiance.
No. Not the Pledge of Allegiance. Star Spangled Banner. Oh, say.
Can you see by the dawn's early light?
Yes! Oh my God.
That was perfect.
I've been to a few
Baseball
like
games?
sporting games where they're playing an American team. So they'll sing both national anthems.
That was impressive.
I feel like I'm pretty like tuned in.
You're pretty American.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You're
pretty, like,
Americanized.
well-versed.
Yeah.
I'm the honorary.
We're
Yeah.
literally like, Lauren, sit down now, sing.
Wait, so Lauren's another influencer. And my question for you is, before you started like doing this job, did you come to the US as much, or had you only been there like a couple, like once? Been here, I guess, once. Twice.
Minimal. Like I had gone to like New York a few times, just like
With family?
with family. I've been to Las Vegas many a time.
What? Really?
Like 7 or 8 times.
Wait, why?
I used to co-own a business a million years ago, and there was a trade show that we would go to there.
Wait, what was the business?
Our dad goes to trade shows.
We wanted to be like a Canadian Revolve. This was like back in 2013. And online shopping was not like what it is today.
Wait, this is Lauren Laura. I did not know anything about.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, it feels like forever ago, but also yesterday. There was no like good online places to shop in Canada, and everything. I mean, still today, there's customs, like duties, charges, like on everything, and shipping just sucks in general. So we wanted to sell cool brands like what a Revolve would.
Yeah.
And absorb all those costs so you wouldn't have to owe all of that at the door. So
That's actually a great business model. It's a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, it worked for like 7 or 8 years. I will say, like, I mean, it wasn't my idea. I can't take credit. It was my like best friend. She had this idea. She went to business school. I went to photography school. So she wanted someone, because we had an e-com platform and then a physical boutique. So she wanted someone to help with the website. That's where like I kind of came in. We literally met working at Victoria's Secret.
Oh my God. Wait, that's so cute.
And we did that for like 8 or 9 years. And then COVID happened and we reevaluated our lives and where we saw ourselves.
Wait, that's what you did up until?
Literally.
What?
Wait, how much
that's
did you
awesome.
guys make a lot of profit?
No, we were basically like, not like paycheck to paycheck, but my business partner, she didn't, like, everything was like self-funded. So when it came to like everything was just down to us. So if we needed to like pay our taxes and we didn't have that money, we would like put up like a 50% off sale on the website that day. But we shipped like worldwide. We were shipping things to Australia. We were shipping things to the US a lot of times.
Did you know this?
No, wait, did you use Shopify? Wait, I should have called you when I set up Big Girls merch.
I would really have to like think about it, because I mean, I remember some stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, we had like a lot of like that, like the plugin apps, and like I did the home pages, and even the 9 to 5 that I had once I moved to Toronto, they use Shopify too. So I was still kind of like in it
that world
a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's been a minute since.
I can't believe, so Shopify, if you guys don't know, Hefty Gals out there, is the platform that majority of, almost probably all the
Shopify
websites that you
does ads. Come on, Shopify.
They're so successful.
We
And
love
they
you.
make it so easy to use.
Yeah, they literally like you
Come on,
build
give
your
us
whole
radio.
e-commerce website with Shopify. So like Rode is a Shopify website.
Yeah.
Like everything goes through them. And it's just crazy because I'm like, how did first off they think of that? And then how did they get every single business to trust them?
Yeah.
To put their e-commerce on there, you know, and
Yeah.
like track their sales and then actually pay them out. Like
Right.
it's the whole thing. And now you can actually get loans through Shopify. This is not an ad.
Shopify, give us a loan for that house. Come on.
They did.
For the-
No, they offered me $5,000.
Whoa.
I didn't take it, but I thought about it. Actually, I didn't think
Interesting.
about it, but like it's cool that they do that because a lot of small businesses it's
Need
hard
a
to
loan.
get to get money, and then what they do is they just take the money from your sales rather than you having.
Oh, they take that first 5,000.
Yes.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
In
rather
sales.
than you having to like pay a loan back.
Oh,
So sometimes
Shopify.
if you can't afford to buy more product, now you can because they're like helping you out.
Wait, that's really cool.
Yeah, really interesting. Okay, so
How does it feel coming to the US of A?
I mean, I have friends here. I feel like my managers in the US. So I feel like as Canadians, there's so many stores that we like to shop at in the US that we just don't have in Canada. Especially like snack food related stores. But I remember like being younger, and I feel like the first time I ever went to New York, I went with my parents. And I just feel like you always see certain places. Like I remember at the time I was so heavy into Gossip Girl, and I just wanted to like go to New York and be Blair Waldorf.
Yes.
and go to the Met.
Yeah.
stairs,
I feel like in like media anyways, there's so many like
More
big,
iconic places
to see
here.
in the US. So I feel like that's kind of like what started.
That's even how we felt going from Missouri to like LA. It's like seeing the like
Hopped off the plane
like
at
Hollywood
LAX.
and like the like
Literally.
streets with the palm trees. Like I still feel that way. I'm like, oh my god,
No,
my life is a movie.
It's very picturesque and beautiful
is.
here.
Yeah.
Completely different. I mean, I shouldn't say completely different than Toronto, but just I was saying I feel like the other morning you just wake up and you just know it's going to be sunny.
Yeah,
You
it's
don't
gonna
get
be a good
that
day.
in Toronto. You're like, am I going to be happy today because the sunshine is out, or am I going to be miserable because it's so gray and
Yeah.
gloomy all the time?
Yeah.
But I like coming here because I have you guys.
We like you coming
love
here.
You coming here.
We actually met Lauren. So actually in New York for the first time in person. So we were in New York. Was it for Fashion Week?
Oh,
Yes, it was.
And you guys, we
at the Adore Me
this is
show. That's the
serendipitous.
first time that I met. I think that's the first time that I met you.
Really?
Yeah.
And then we were at a coffee shop, and
Yes.
we literally, this is so like New York, like this shit doesn't happen in LA. We were at a coffee shop, and it's like all windows, and we see Lauren walking by,
Yes.
and we're like over there, we're like, Lauren!
You literally peeked your head out the window.
Yeah, and then we literally hung out the rest of the day.
Yeah.
And
that
the
the
rest is
time?
history.
I tagged along because I was there by myself. So
It was
Yeah.
so perfect, though. I was like, wait, Lauren's out there.
I'm pretty sure you were shooting content. I think you had your tripod
I
and
had
you
my
were shooting.
tripod, me, myself, and I.
And then we spent the whole day together.
Yeah.
It was like so fun. But
Yeah.
at the time we were signed with the same management. And now me and Lauren are also signed with the same management. And our managers have offices right next to each other.
I really
a
feel
small
like,
world.
no, there is some people that are like, so like you're just like meant to be friends. Like you're put in front of each other all the time.
Yeah.
Like it's like I'd have no choice, but like we're gonna be best friends now forever. Like I feel like
Yeah.
there's just some people that it's
We
like
have
I
seen
run
you a
into
lot.
like
Yeah,
I
I
run
feel
into
like-
like the same kind of like people like just randomly, and I'm like, well, I guess we're supposed to be friends because the amount of times I've like just run into you or been
Well,
at the same place or like
Yeah.
been at the same like agency or I don't know.
So true. No, and I feel like in Toronto, I mean, doing this as a job, I feel can be very lonely a lot
Yeah.
of the time. And I mean, I've only been doing this for maybe like 2.5 years at this point, and I still feel like a newbie every single day. But you start this, I feel like for a lot of people accidentally, or you just
Yeah.
get like thrown into it. You have no idea what you're doing. You don't know what you're like, what's right, like, you know, tips, tricks, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for me in Toronto now at this point, I have established, I feel like, a few really good creator friends there. But I
Who we
didn't have
also
that
know.
for a long time. And like you guys, I feel like I feel like I relate to you guys so much. So it's just nice having other people. So when I like, you know, share common interests, we met at the agency. I was like, oh, I like these girls. I want to be friends with them.
Now we are.
And now we are.
And now we're having
I'm hanging out at-
sleepovers
yeah.
in
Sleeping
LA.
in
Now
mom's
we
bed.
need to go to Toronto. But
Yeah.
Lauren did bring us a bunch of Canadian snacks, which was so fun. Ketchup Lays.
Yeah.
Gabby
That's
loves
an
them.
iconic
I know. I'm
one.
like now I'm gonna be craving these forever, and I won't even be able to get them.
I also loved the all dressed.
Yeah, the ruffles.
Yeah,
all
ruffles were so
dressed.
good. And then the Smarties, they're kind of like
They're like M&Ms.
M&Ms, but like better. They taste like the Cadbury eggs a little bit.
They're like creamier. I don't know how
Yeah.
to describe it.
But that you can definitely tell that everything has less chemicals in it. Like,
Yeah.
it just tastes a little, Avery was like,
Oh,
this
the
tastes
cheesies.
organic.
The cheesies.
Yes.
The Hawkins cheesies.
Yeah, they're like version of like Cheetos. Like has like the funk of an actual like cheese. Like it's like you can tell that this is made with like
Real cheese.
It doesn't taste like a chemical.
No,
like-
it was so good.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, so since Lauren is on the podcast for the first time, we of course have to do our signature series, things that make us sick to our stomach, fam.
Wait. Oh my God. This came from that clip of her saying it makes me sick to my stomach, fam. It was in a Toronto accent. And she, you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
That's where this whole segment came from.
so many meme like videos on the
Yes.
Toronto accent. I mean,
Yes.
can't do it, but it's
What is
there.
very
Is it real?
unique.
What is the accent?
It's like a mix of like Jamaican, like patois,
Like Drake.
Yeah.
Drake has a Toronto
If you think of
accent.
Drake, yeah.
I've never heard Drake talk.
Huh?
What? It's a lot of like
You
fam.
guys watch his videos or something?
He talks all the time in his songs.
Yeah.
He's a rapper.
Say okay.
I need the Max Swin.
I need the Max win.
There you go.
Mean.
Wing. Okay, Gabby, do you want to start us off? What makes you sick to your stomach?
Yeah, what makes me sick to my stomach is it's already halfway through June. I'm like, wait, half of the summer is already over. Like in my head, June and July are the 2 months of summer because I think that's what we had off in Missouri for summer break. I'm like, wait, it's already halfway through June. I'm like, it's the how fast time is moving. Like I think time moves faster as like the older that you get.
1,000%.
It just flies by faster. And it's making me sick to my stomach. I'm like,
You
wait,
just
whoa,
can't
whoa,
think-
whoa,
you
whoa,
can't-
whoa,
you
whoa,
can't
whoa,
think
whoa.
about it
The
too
year just
deeply.
started. I never even made my vision board. It's halfway through June.
You need a factory reset.
I need a factory reset.
Well, and I think for you guys too, like, you know, you're going to be traveling in July. So I feel like
Yeah.
that's like a good chunk of the,
of the summer.
right there.
I know. I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's
wait,
true.
Wait.
You're
Whoa,
going to come
whoa.
back and it's going to be August.
I know.
Sorry.
Ugh, and I love
I just
summer.
made it worse.
Summer is like my favorite season of the month. Not that it's like even
of the year.
Sorry, of the year, but it's like it's not even like I'm worried about like the weather going away because it's gonna be hot in LA for so long.
Yeah.
But it's just like June and July, like those are the best of the whole year.
But then August is my bachelorette trip.
Ooh.
September, Fashion Week.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we're gonna
And
be able
then-
to make it to Fashion Week this year with all that's happening.
Oh, I'm going.
Oh, I'm going.
Unless I buy the house, then I'm not going. Then I
And
won't be able
nobody's
to afford
going
flights.
nowhere.
And then we have my wedding. Then my honeymoon. Then,
Baby.
guys, you want to hear something crazy? So we're going to Spain in July for Macy and Joey's wedding, our friends. And after, we're going on like a buddy moon. So we're like traveling around
Oh my God,
together.
you're calling it a buddy moon?
Yeah. Isn't that so
Yeah, 'cause
fun?
Instead of their
That
like
is
honeymoon, they're having all their friends
The
come.
cutest thing I've ever heard.
And one of the stops is Barcelona, which is like technically it's like 3 or 4 days after the wedding. So it's kind of like still their honeymoon, even though like we're gonna be there. And Gabby goes to Macy and Joey, the bride and groom. She's like, so like, am I staying with you guys in Barcelona? And I'm like, Gabby, you're clearly not staying with the newlyweds in Barcelona.
And I don't see why not.
And Macy was like, I mean, you can, like, that's fine.
That's what best friends are for. Like, what do you mean? I'm the maid of honor.
This morning on my run, I saw
And what's wrong with that?
I saw an old man and 2 women, and I was like, that's kind of weird. Like, why is this guy have, like, is it sister wives? And then I thought, well, you know what? Gabby hangs out with Macy and Joey all the time, so
Same
maybe
thing,
it's not
same
so
thing.
weird.
Also, I saw this TikTok and it's like, what's so wrong with bringing your best friend on a first date when it's like she makes you feel so like yourself? Like, what's like, and what's wrong with that? Like, to put me at ease and make me fun and have a fun time and not nervous. Like, what's wrong with that? I don't.
So are we
see
gonna bring
why
Macy
that's
on your first date?
Why is that frowned upon? Why can't I bring my sister on a first date? Like,
Oh my God.
You would literally never bring me on. I feel like when
yes,
you
I
meet,
would. If it was like a mutual friend of like a family friend or something, or like what?
because the thought
You
of
wouldn't want to
seeing,
come with me?
trying to see you flirt with somebody, like
You've never
this.
witnessed that before?
Don't
No.
be a bitch. Now she's being mean.
I'm not
Now
being
you're
mean.
just being mean.
I'm just saying the one thing me and Gabby are pretty close. The one thing we don't talk about is men. Wouldn't you say?
Okay.
I feel like
Yeah,
that's,
because you don't need to know my business.
and I don't want you to know mine. So-
I don't want to know yours.
Well, you kind of know am marrying him. So that's all the
I
business.
actually am very.
That's
That is your
all-
business.
That's all the business I
That's
have
the
to tell. It's
business.
kind of a boring business I'm in these days. You know, just in the same relationship. Okay, Lauren, why don't you go? What is something that makes you feel sick to your stomach, fam?
I mean, public speaking in general. Like, even I was so, when Emma was like, oh, you can like come on the podcast. I was like, no, that's like the thought of that is so nerve wracking to me. I don't know what it is. I'm always just afraid I'm going to say something wrong or just, I mean, I feel like I'm not a very good speaker, like interviews. I never wanted to do presentations in school growing up. I don't know what it is. And it's funny.
I think you're very well spoken. So that's
Really?
so like
That
in your
is-
own brain.
I mean, it's a huge compliment. But I feel like it's similar to the fact or just being on the internet. I feel like I'm literally changing online, but when it comes to real life, I get so shy and nervous and like awkward.
me
It's like
too.
a weird, like if I can do it on the internet, like in real life.
But on the internet, you can spice it how exactly you want it. In real life, there's
True,
no,
you can
there's
always
no
like you can edit and
rewind.
like filter yourself. I just feel
Yeah.
like certain words like I just wish I could erase them from my vocabulary. So public speaking in general, if I know I have to do something, it makes me so sick. I could literally vomit all over the place.
Who are you telling? Because I have to give 2 maid of honor speeches in the next couple months, and I
Really?
public
You're
speaking.
gonna kill it though.
know.
You are a very
In
good
my-
speaker
in
and you're very
college-
funny.
In college, I had to do like a public speaking class. It's actually like probably top 10 worst memories of my life.
Really?
Yes. Oh my god.
I mean, that sounds like my nightmare.
It was terrible. You had to do it. It was like one of those classes like everybody had to take to graduate. I'm like, that's just evil.
Yeah,
That's called public
I say that I
humiliation.
love public speaking, but then like
When you have to
last
do it.
year, Rayanne and Christina had me introduce them. They were like, "Hey, we're in town for our live podcast," which I was going to. But can you just do like a quick little intro to say like introducing
Oh,
the
I
girls?
remember that, yeah.
Just my voice was shaking. I forgot what I was supposed to say. Like literally, and it's so funny because one of the girls at the pool party this last weekend, which was for the same thing, the Confident Collective, she was like, "Oh my gosh!" And yeah, I remember like last year we saw each other because you introduced like you did the intro or whatever. And I was like, oh, don't bring that up. That was so embarrassing. She goes, oh, girl, it's fine. We wanted you to keep talking. We wanted to hear anything you had to say. And I'm like, oh my God, that's the best response you ever could have had.
Even if you're nervous or you do fumble, some people are just so good at like coming back from it.
Yeah.
And
I will say
improving.
I'm quick on my feet, but like certain circumstances, like if I didn't know anybody in the room, I think I'd be really, really good at public speaking.
Yeah.
But it's like when you know that one person, it feels more nerve wracking.
I was sitting front row like this.
You're nervous.
I had my crush in my public speaking class in college.
That is, I could,
Yeah.
Oh,
my worst
that's
nightmare.
Literally public humiliation.
Not public speaking.
Like,
Public
I
humiliation.
just think it's funny that Lauren was like, I can literally get online and like change in my underwear and bra on screen, but I can't like public speak. And I'm like, well, nobody's asking you to like change in public. Like,
I'd rather change in public than give a speech. Like,
honestly,
seriously.
I don't disagree with that. That's very true.
in the town square.
Yes. I don't give a
In LA, honestly, people wouldn't even bat an eye.
No.
They
They
wouldn't.
would be like,
They wouldn't.
okay. They are honestly like, they probably start cheering. Woo! We love this show.
But no, that's what, makes me
Sick to your stomach?
sick
What's
to
yours?
my
Did you already say
stomach.
yours?
No, something that makes me sick to my stomach. Number one is that we can't afford my dream house.
That's true.
It makes me sick to my stomach for you. 'Cause
Number
I know you really
two
want it.
is we were just talking about this because we're going to Spain, and we're gonna have to fly on those really small planes internationally in between like the countries because we're going from like Spain to Mykonos. We're going to Barcelona,
yeah.
and I know those seats. It like there's no first class. Like it's just one small seat, and I know it's gonna hurt.
bad.
Lauren just came from.
I could take my pants off right here
And
but
show
there
you.
are literally, I was in a bathing suit or we were doing something the other day. And you're like, Lauren, what are those bruises on your leg? And I was like, oh, those are absolutely from the airplane seat coming here.
Oh.
Getting up, going to the bath, which usually on a flight, I don't really get up to pee. I just pee before I get on the plane because I don't really do a lot of like longer flights other than like past 3 hours. But from Toronto to LA, it's 5. So at one point, I needed to pee.
Yeah.
I got up, and I think that's like getting up and getting down. The armrests just like jab into you like a knife.
I have a
And that's what
question.
did
We
it.
did this question last time we were on together, or I don't remember. Would you rather have a whole aisle in economy to yourself, or
A whole row.
a whole row, or a window seat in first class?
How close are the seats together in first class?
There's only 2.
But like, is there like a wide? The seats are wider.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're way wider. You've flown first class.
I know, but different airlines.
It's different.
It's different. Like different experiences. And honestly, I haven't had too many like legit proper like first class experiences because again, a lot of the flights that I do are shorter, so they're typically smaller airplanes, and it's like a first class seat is just like a regular,
Like more extra leg room.
Exactly. It's not giving you any much like more width, or it's not like luxurious
Yeah.
by any means. So I don't know why it's expensive.
Yeah.
No, there would be a console, like the spaces between you and Gabby, there'd be a console there in between
Yeah.
you guys.
I would probably pick the first class seat because I like getting on the plane first and like getting
Yeah, me
situated
too.
Yeah.
and like
being
knowing that
first
you
one
have.
off.
Yeah, I'm the type of person that if I have an economy seat, I'm like right up at like the boarding gate as soon as they start to say like
I want
boarding.
overhead bin space.
Yeah, you don't want your stuff like under if you're like bringing a bag on the plane.
Yeah.
You don't want to have to like put it underneath.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
And
not
oh my
put
God.
on-
Because I used to fly standby because my mom's a flight attendant. So like standby people are the last to board. It's like a free flight, but you're the last. And so I'd always come on, be looking for extra bin space, have to go like all the way
To the
like
back.
to the back to put my fucking thing up.
Yeah.
But then I'm sitting in the front of the
Yes.
plane.
It's
And
like,
then I'm
what's
like,
the point?
"Oh."
I have
And
to
then I'm
wait for everybody to
"Excuse
get up."
me," like trying to get to the back to get my bag. And
Yeah.
I'm like,
No, so I like to get on the plane first. I would choose first class. And then
Okay.
free snacks.
yeah.
I can't
And
remember
a
what I
meal.
picked, but
You said first class, obviously.
no, I think I said the full row because I don't like to not get out. Like thinking of being stuck in the window seat and having to like wake somebody up. And the first class seats, like they lay down. So like you have to wake them up. You can't just like step over them.
Yeah.
So, but then I do think about the anxiety of not having space for my bags.
This is first world problems, guys.
I know, but it's I like to play pretend games.
That's a good question.
I like to live in my non-real.
Here's a similar question, similar but different, because I think it had something to do with the flight. I asked this in my broadcast channel on my Instagram. Would you rather have a wider seat or more leg room?
Wider seat.
Wider seat.
Okay. I mean, I would agree 1,000%.
But I think that's a BG answer.
Yeah, have to go with answer.
But a tall person would probably say like more leg room.
Right. But what if you're tall and big?
Big and tall. Then what?
A bit, exactly. You're
that
really
store.
screwed.
Both of them. I want both of them.
Okay, well, let's wrap up today's episode. Gabby's going to tell that depressing story.
Okay, guys, seriously, trigger warning. If you don't want to hear something that's going to bring you down today, click off. And this is your final warning.
Don't you bring me down today.
Honestly, do you even want to listen to this, Lauren? Because it's going to be...
Well,
gonna be a
I
tough
mean,
one.
I remember you referencing it on your stories, and it like really, like I wanted to know.
It shook me up to my core. And it's honestly like one of those stories of like something that like literally it will like change me forever. Like,
Really?
Yeah. It's like, I feel like everybody kind of has like one of these experiences in their lives that it's like, oh, that's not like a turning point, but like that like crazy thing happened. And then
engraved on
now
you.
it's like changes the way that I look at everything and like just kind of did a full factory reset.
It's exactly how
it literally was a factory reset.
My one thing I'm waiting for it to happen
What?
is going to be when I meet a billionaire.
And that's gonna be and they're gonna give you $1 million. You're gonna be like, "And the world is my oyster," and I told you guys this, and nobody listened. But anyway,
Okay, I need to stop laughing.
I know. I'm just gonna tell it quick. Here we go. So, I went to Peru with my best friend from home, Michaela. She graduated med school, so as a gift, her parents bought her like a trip to Peru, and it's like a whole family trip. And they also invited like their family friends. So we had a group of like probably like 15 people with us. And this was the last day of the trip. Her mom booked one of these like day-long excursions in Peru. So the first like stop, and it was like in one of those like big charter buses. Like they go stop at all the hotels, everybody gets on. And like the first stop, we went on this like ferry kind of boat out to this little island to see penguins, because apparently there's penguins in Peru. So we saw the penguins, and then the second stop of the day was like a distillery for this type of like liquor that they make in Peru. And then the last stop of the day was like these sand dunes, which is just like randomly this like oasis. They called it an oasis. If it's like all of these like sand hills pretty much. And they take you on these little sand buggies is what they call them. And they're pretty much just like, it's not like an ATV, it's like a car.
It's almost like a really big golf cart, but with the multiple
like
rows.
a buggy.
Like a buggy. Like, do you know what I'm talking about? Like,
Yeah,
it's
like the
like,
adventurous ones. They always have them on like
Yeah.
The Bachelor. They go on dates and they're riding them.
yeah. So we're on the last stop of the day, the dune buggy tour. And they take us like up to this top of this hill, and they park all the buggies like on the very edge, like kind of like how like Jeeps do, like kind of to show off, like on the very edge of the hill. And they're all parked up there so we can like take pictures and yada yada. So we have a group of like probably 25 to 30 people. So there was probably like 5 buggies that we all filled up. So we're going on this like little, they were kind of like snowboards. So they parked at the top so we could do these snowboards kind of down. Like
On your belly.
Yeah, you lay on your belly, like whatever.
Like a
So-
toboggan.
Yeah, like a
snow-
toboggan.
yeah.
But it's like you're like snow. It's, like
sand
sledding.
It's sand sledding.
Sand sledding. That's what it is. So I was the first one down, and then I was kind of like standing down there waiting for the rest of our group to come.
Did you volunteer to go first?
They kind of made me go first. I was like, fuck it, whatever, I'll go first. So I handed the tour guide my phone to take a video of me because Michaela wasn't standing by me and I wanted a video.
Yeah.
And so after all this happened, he literally had my phone, and it was a whole like 4-hour fucking ordeal to go get my phone from this guy.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yes. But so I was the first one down, and then a couple like after like probably like 10 people went down, some of the buggies came down to where we were and parked again on the edge of that hill. Like there was like multiple like hills. Like this one we started on was the very tall one, and then we were another one, and then there was another one, but we're still like very high up. So there was like probably like, I think it was just one at the time. One of the buggies parked on the hill, and there was probably like 20 of us who have already gone down the hill waiting for the rest to come down. So one of the drivers of the buggy is like, hey guys, come, like waving us over to come get in the dune buggy so we can go to the next stop. Because the next stop we were going to do like sunset picnic on the dunes, whatever. So I kind of was like, oh, are we all just like filling up each buggy? And then because we're all going to the same spot. We're all in the same group. So I was like, should I go get in that one? And we're all just going to just fill up whatever ones, or should I wait for like my driver? And I decided, I was like, I'm just going to wait for my driver because I want to wait for Michaela to come down, whatever. So there was like a group that was like this mom, her son, maybe her sister, or maybe like a friend. So her and her son go to get in this buggy, and they're all just parked. So there's no driver in there. They're just parked. So she goes and gets in, and her son, all of a sudden the buggy starts rolling down the hill. And Michaela was like, oh my God, there's no driver in there. Like, there's no driver in there. Jump out, like screaming at them. Jump out, there's no driver. And so everybody's like looking at this point. So the son jumps out really quick and is like, Mom, jump out. I think it just like the buggy starts going too fast to where she can't jump out. And so it just starts picking up speed, hits this other like ramp type of like sand dune and goes airborne, nose dives. She dies on impact in front of her son, in front of her sister or her friend, in front of the whole entire group.
But nobody knows this at that
But nobody
point.
knew that at the point. We were all just like, oh my God, like there was somebody in there.
Yeah.
We just like watched, like, what the fuck do we do? So the sun runs down, and we kind of, at this point, we're like, obviously this woman is hurt badly because she just like went airborne, like the highest I've ever seen anything like go in the air and just like crash. Like, it was the craziest sound. And so he runs down there. We start and they're like, it's really, really far down. So you kind of can't really hear what's happening.
Yeah.
And we're hearing screaming, but I didn't know if it was like the other people still on the tours around us, like screaming, having fun, or what. So then more people kind of like start trickling down there. And then we hear like actual screams. And I was like, oh shit. In my mind, I'm like, oh, it's the woman. She probably like broke her arm or like
hurt
broke,
her neck
yeah,
or
like something like fuck. And then, so Michaela has just graduated med school, and one of the other dads we were with, he's a doctor. So they run down there, and this is probably like 5 minutes after the accident. They run down there, and everybody was kind of just like frozen. Like,
in shock.
Yeah, nobody knew what to do. Everybody was just like, oh my God, like the son's screaming bloody murder, like, Mom, wake up, Mom, wake up. So Michaela and the other dad like pull her out of the car because no one had even pulled her out yet. Like, she's just like in very, very bad shape. Like, she definitely like died on impact, but they're like giving her CPR, and that's like the only thing you can really do in that situation. It's just like in another, like there's no first aid kit in any of the buggies. Like, nobody really spoke English. Nobody knows the number for 911 in Peru. There was no sort of like walkie-talkies to like call any other driver. Like, it literally was just a situation. Yeah, you're just stuck in the middle of the desert. Like, what the fuck do we do? So it just was like actually like worst case scenario of anything that could have possibly happened. Like,
did the driver were the drivers like acting in any kind of way?
I think they were like panicked because they're like, oh shit, this is one of ours fault because the buggy wasn't in park. So it was definitely the guy's fault. So they ended up like, it's just like terrible. Like, that kid, he was in like high school. So I'm like,
oh my God,
for the rest of his life, like he just like literally witnessed like
the most traumatic thing.
Yeah.
And like saw her like fucking mangled body, somebody like stranger giving her CPR. Like, it just, and had to like go to the hospital with her in a foreign country because they're Americans. And I'm like, and now he has to figure out how to get her body back to the US. Like, there's so many, I'm like, just, it was such a freak accident that it's like, it made me so double think of like going on excursions in another country, because I'm like, not that like you would be like want to like sue them and like get money out of the situation, but it's like the legal system in a different country is completely different. Like, I don't even think they'll be able to like sue the driver, not even if they would want to.
Yeah.
And then this like article came out after, and they were like, American tourist gets in the driver's seat and is messing with the gears and ends up dead, like blaming this whole thing on her. Like, I was just like, what the hell? Like, it just was the craziest thing I've ever experienced. And I'm just like, there was no protocol for like any sort of emergency.
No.
And we asked one of the drivers, like, oh my God, like, does this kind of thing happen? Like whatever. And he was like, yeah, unfortunately, this kind of thing happens all the time. Like,
then why do you?
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, there's no like, you would think if an accident like this has happened, there would be like
They'd shut it
rules
down.
and regulations.
Yeah.
And like the tours weren't even stopping. Like there was literally still tours going on all around. I'm like, somebody is dead.
Yeah.
Like what?
Didn't you guys have to flag
going on?
somebody down to get back?
Yeah, we had to flag somebody down to like get in their thing, and the driver's like being crazy, like trying to have a fun time, and like all the other guys.
You
in the thing
don't
are
come
drunk.
back from that
And I was
situation.
like, guys, so can you please slow down? Like
read the
somebody died.
room.
Well,
It was
did they
just-
even know that?
No, they didn't know, but we had to like yell at the
Oh.
driver and be like, somebody just died. Can you please slow down? Because he was being crazy, trying to do like all these tricks, and I'm like bawling in the backseat, like,
Yeah.
please slow down. I'm like fucking terrified for my life. I'm
Right.
like, what the hell? But Anna's just like, it was so bizarre because we were with these people like during the day. And what was so fucked up is like the woman who ended up passing away, on the first stop on the boat, she had gotten really sick and got seasick and was like throwing up on the boat. So they ended up not getting back on the bus. So they weren't at that second stop. They ended up meeting us at the sand dunes. So I'm like, she wasn't even supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Like just the whole situation. I'm just like, in an instant, like
Everything
something
can
can happen.
change.
Yeah.
Well, and I think it's crazy that it could have been one of you guys, or like it could have
Yeah.
been.
I know. I'm like, I
It
literally.
could have been anybody on the tour who would have been like
Anybody.
just whoever would have gotten in that buggy next without the driver in there. Because even if it was the driver,
It's like we weren't even like we were getting in there to just like sit. Like so, obviously she didn't put her seatbelt on because we're just getting in there to sit and wait for
Yeah, yeah.
everybody.
well, and it sounds like even if she would have had her seatbelt on, I don't think it would have been.
Yeah.
a
No.
difference. But that's just like
And it's just like it was
Horrifying.
eerie, like getting back on the bus, like she was literally sitting in her and her son were sitting in the row in front of me. So like all of their stuff and all of their belongings.
Oh my God.
I'm like, they had no clue this morning getting up,
what was
coming on
going to
this
happen?
tour, what was gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like it just made me so sick to my stomach. Or thinking about the son going back to the hotel, all of his mom's
Yeah.
luggage and stuff, and just
did,
Having
was
to
there
deal
any
with
other
all
adult?
that.
They had one more person in their group.
yeah, they had one more person in the group.
Okay, that was an adult,
Yeah,
so that person would have been with
but
him.
it's just still like
Devastating.
Yeah, it's horrible.
just crazy.
I don't think anybody would wake up and know that that's
No.
going to be the day that
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like that, literally anything could happen at any moment to anybody ever.
Yeah.
And like because we had a 4-hour bus ride home from the dunes back to where we were staying, and like everybody was asleep on the bus, and it was just like me and Michaela awake, and like literally for those entire 4 hours, we were just like talking the entire time. I'm just like, I feel like if I would have been the first one to run down there, I would have been in shock too. I wouldn't have known to pull her out and start giving her CPR. Like I just felt so helpless in like, I'm like, I need to do some like training or something, because I'm like, the way that I would have been so helpless
Yeah.
in that situation is scary. I'm like,
But I feel like that's most people.
yeah. And Michaela, we didn't even like run down there for 5 minutes because we thought like somebody else was helping, or we thought that somebody had already come to help. Like,
Yeah.
the bystander
yeah.
effect.
So she was like, I just graduated med school. I don't even like, she's like, I so like undersell myself. And I'm like, oh, it's fine. Like somebody else is helping. But she's like, this so taught me, like, you don't realize like how clueless people really are. She's like, I am like in this situation, like the most like knowledgeable, and like I can help, and I do know what to do. And so she's like, from now on, like you can't even think. You just have to go
Yeah.
and like help.
Well, normally that's what the first thing you always say is there a doctor? Is there a doctor? Like you
Yeah.
have to have.
And her mom was so like, we have 2 doctors here. And we were like, Vanessa, chill. Like we really didn't think that like
It was that serious,
Yeah, that
yeah.
like something that crazy had just happened, but it's just
I don't think-
crazy.
I think that puts so much in perspective where you feel like those little things just like they don't really matter. You
Well,
know?
yeah.
That it doesn't, and like at the end of the day, we don't know how long we have. Like I just
Yeah, just like anything could happen to
Yeah.
anybody.
Well, and I just like we've been. This is like obviously a lot. Like I'm not trying to demean what they went through, but I'm like it makes me think about like when we think about what to do next in our life, and mom's like, well, you guys will save so much money if you just move out of LA, and I'm like, well, we love LA, and also at the end of our life, like I was trying to explain to my mom, I'm like, Mom, at my funeral, nobody's gonna be like, thank God Emma's savings account was so much. Right? They're gonna be like, no, she lived a happy life that like made her feel fulfilled or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we forget that. Like we forget that when people pass away, how much money they have in their bank account.
Right, they're
what
done
the
and
things
done.
that they have, like those things truly don't matter. And like why do we focus on it so much?
Yeah, I'm like, it really all that matters is spending your time with the people you
the
love.
people that you love and that you want to be around.
Yeah, and that's really all it comes down to.
Yeah.
I was just like, holy shit, like.
No, I'm sorry you went through that. I feel like that was like the craziest.
I just know I like could not stop thinking about the sun, and like I was just like, what?
No, that really does stick with you after the fact.
He wasn't even like graduated high school. Like he's definitely like he was in high school. Just like, bro, his life is literally never gonna be the same.
Yeah. Do you think you'll go to therapy for it? I think you should do a couple sessions.
I mean, no.
Like it's traumatic.
It is traumatic, but I don't have like PTSD or anything like that from it. It just kind of like reset my brain of like, oh shit, like you're not invincible, and like going on to do all this crazy shit. Like, I don't know. I'm just like, be smart. Like, it just makes me be like, I honestly kind of am and it made me realize like the way that she wasn't even supposed to be there. Like if something gets put in your path of like, oh, don't do this, like don't fight it. Like sometimes it's like, oh, this is not for me. Whatever, not today. And it's like, we're going to Greece, and I was so excited to like rent the ATVs. And I'm like, hell no. Nobody,
rethink
no, I'm like,
everything.
I'm not letting anybody in the
We're
group
staying
rent
in
an
the villa,
ATV.
and that's
Like,
it.
no. Like there's so many, I've heard like at least like 4 people of like friends of friends who have died on ATV. I'm like,
Really?
no.
Yeah,
I'm not
really
saying
dangerous.
like I'm going to live my life in a scared way now, but I'm just like, there's things that are avoidable. Like motorcycles, ATVs, like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on. We've heard far too many stories of that kind of stuff.
Mm-mm.
But sorry to end on a morbid note, guys. But you guys were begging for the story, and you know what? I decided to give it to you. Okay, sue me. But I take that with just take that story and take what you will from it, and
Yeah.
do what you want in life, and because you never know.
Yeah.
You never
really
really
don't
know.
But just a reminder, we do drop an episode every Wednesday here on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify. And you can find us over on TikTok and Instagram at Hefty Girls. And we'll see you guys next week.
Bye, Laura. Thank you for coming
Thanks
on.
for, I don't know. I didn't want
Sorry,
to
sorry,
interrupt you.
no. Sorry for the
No,
morbidity.
thanks for having me. Thanks for hosting me. Thanks for showing me
The US of A.
the US of A, LA, day in the life, all of the things.
Yes, we love it.
Welcome. You have
Talk to you
arrived
guys
at the
later.
Hefty
Bye,
Girls
Hefties.
podcast.
Bye.